Hi scientists! Welcome back to another episode of Virtually Alive. Today we're going to be talking about something super important, pollution.
Pollution is when something is added to the environment that is harmful or poisonous to living things. As pollution grows, ways to combat it grows too. Solar energy and wind energy give people other ways to power their homes. When people use these alternative forms of energy, they put less carbon dioxide into the environment. There are 4 main types of pollutions: air, noise, water, and soil. Air pollution is caused by poisonous gases, sulfur dioxide, nitrogen dioxide, carbon monoxide, and very small particles. It is also caused by the smoke and harmful gases released by the fires that make vehicles and factories go. Air pollution may cause breathing problems such as asthma or other health problems. Noise pollution, also known as sound pollution, is noise which is harmful to humans and animals. This includes the sound of vehicles, loudspeakers, and other things. Noise pollution can cause ear problems or hearing problems, including permanent deafness, especially in older people. Water pollution is the presence of harmful materials in water, such as sewage, dissolved metals, waste from farms, factories, and oil spilled from oil tankers. The 3 main substances that pollute water are nitrates from fertilizers, sewage, and detergents. Activities such as bathing and washing clothes near lakes, ponds, or rivers add nutrients like nitrogen and phosphorus into the water bodies. This leads to excessive growth of algae on the surface of water. This blocks the penetration of sunlight and air, therefore reducing oxygen. Pollution causes harm to organisms living in the water and can also harm people's health. Lastly, soil pollution, also known as land pollution, is when man-made chemicals such as hydrocarbons, heavy metals, solvents, and other things get inside soil. These chemicals come from industrial activities and from bad waste disposal. Soil pollution may cause health risks. The chemicals can produce harmful vapors or they can contaminate water supplies underneath the polluted soil. Now that we know a little bit more about the different types of pollutants, let's do some experiments to test them. The first activity we'll consider water pollution. We talked about how oil spilled from oil tankers can cause harm to the wildlife and people around it. This experiment will demonstrate an oil spill, and you scientists will have to try and clean it up. We are going to use 3 methods: a spoon, a sponge, and cotton balls. Before you start the experiment, make a hypothesis about which tool you think will be most effective. What you need for this experiment are as follows: water, blue food coloring, vegetable oil, cocoa powder, a big deep clear container, cotton balls, a plastic mini boat, plastic ocean animals, small rocks and stones, a sponge, spoon, paper towels, and Dawn dish soap. To do this activity, first you must fill the clear plastic container halfway with water and add 1 to 2 drops of food coloring and then mix. Next, create your ocean habitat using the rocks and plastic animals. And you can also put your boat into your ocean. In a separate bowl, mix 2 tablespoons of oil with a spoon of cocoa powder. Now put all of your crude oil that you just made, or your oil and cocoa powder mix, into the crystal blue ocean waters. You should notice that the oil is sticking together and floating on top of the water. Now, use each tool and record your findings. While you are completing this activity, consider that it is a very small scale. In the past year, there was 1,000 tons of oil spilled into the ocean. Oil spills that large can take months and even years to clean up, and the effects of the oil spill can last for generations longer in the organisms that live in that environment. As you can see, if you want to truly clear your water again, or at least move all of your oil to the edges, you can put some of your Dawn dish soap into the center like we did here. The next activity, we are going to make a bird feeder. As we know, many organisms lose their homes because of deforestation, or the building of streets and highways nearby. Highways and streets cause a lot of noise pollution because of trucks and cars traveling through them day and night. So for this next activity, we are going to create a biodegradable bird feeder so that some lucky birds can take a break and enjoy a snack, thanks to you. The materials that you will need for this activity are peanut butter, but only if you're not allergic, so make sure that you ask an adult, string, a toilet paper roll, and nuts or seeds. Your first step is to punch a hole in the roll of toilet paper. Then, spread a thin layer of peanut butter or any other type of nut or seed butter around the outside of the roll. Then lay the nuts and seeds onto a flat plate or surface. Roll into the seeds. Finally, add the string to the roll and hang somewhere outside. And that's it. If you place it near a window, you might even be able to see some friends come and have a treat. And by friends, we mean birds. Our third and final activity was all about water filtration. Because we don't have an actual water treatment plant to use for this experiment, we just decided to have some fun with it. First, you'll need to go on a bit of an adventure and find an outdoor water source. We went to our river that kind of looks like a little lake and filled up a mason jar full of water. Next, we found a plastic container from our recycling bin that we don't mind poking holes in the bottom of. For this activity, you will also need baking soda, a clear plastic container that you're not going to poke holes in, and a coffee filter. Our first step is to add baking soda to our water and shake it. Once we do that, we move on to our next step, which is our filtration part. So for this, you'll need to put some big rocks inside your recyclable plastic container that you poked holes in, and you're going to strain the water through the rocks into the other plastic container. Once that's done, you can pour the water back into the mason jar. Now it's time for our last step, because as you can see, there's still a little bit of dirt inside our water. For the last step, we poured our water through the coffee filter to get the last little bits of dirt and other things from our water. Now, if this were a real water filtration plant, the last step would be disinfection. However, because we don't actually have the proper chemicals to disinfect our water, this was just a fun experiment to see how we could remove dirt from water that we can see with our eyes, not under a microscope.
Thanks for watching. See you next week.